Good morning, SDA Academy. Welcome back to another week of your online learning. Hope you guys have had a great week so far. So, quick one for this week. We obviously go through our recap as to what we did last week. Then we've got our 3 questions for this week. So, our 3 questions are: what power requirements does your sport have? What is reactive power? What is explosive power? And then what is required for you guys to do for us for next week. So just a quick recap. The first question was, what speed requirements does your sport have? So last week we spoke about our repeated sprintability. Okay, so being able to sprint at high velocity or high speed over and over and over again, obviously with short amounts of rest or certain amounts of rest between each one, but being able to do it for a certain amount of sets, okay, or otherwise classified as your speed endurance. Okay, most sports require you to have a max speed, being able to get up to your maximum velocity and stay there for as long as possible. And then a lot of sports require a big acceleration through any sort of movement into your sprints within the sport. Then we looked at why can a combined training model help develop speed. So when we're working on speed, we're working on different components of speed as well to make sure that we can become fast. So we are working on our strength and we are working on power. Then we're looking at the similar physiological components as well. So because strength and speed, or strength and power, are components of speed, we have to look at what do those do to the body. Remember, we spoke about our energy systems, and then we spoke about the muscle fiber types. So for speed, power, and strength, they're all extremely similar in energy systems and the muscle fiber types. So that's the physiological component. Then what muscle makeup is best for speed athletes? Okay, so remember we have 3 different types of muscle fibers, but the 2 muscle fibers that most speed athletes will predominantly have within their muscle makeup, we type 2A and type 2B muscle fibers. Okay, ideally for extreme speed sprinters, their makeup will be the type 2B muscle fibers. So for this week, let's look at what power requirements does your sport have. So obviously we need to look at what is power. So in a physical equation, power is your force times your velocity. Now force, if you look at force, is strength, and velocity is speed. So now we're theoretically looking at strength times speed, being able to produce as much force as possible, as quickly as possible, in the shortest amount of time. And a couple of examples: just jumping, acceleration, and throwing. If you look at the picture as well, okay, that is a great power movement, very difficult movement. It is a snatch. So the athlete is lifting a very heavy weight, so something that requires a lot of strength, up as quickly as possible to a certain height, okay? So as quickly as possible is the velocity. Then himself as well needs to get underneath the bar as quickly as possible. So again, we're talking about the speed, and then from that position he'll stand up again, which is again a lot of strength work. Now let's look at what is reactive power. Reactive power, we're talking about quick, powerful movements using our stretch shortening cycle. Now the stretch shortening cycle is just how the muscle stretches and how quickly it shortens. Okay, very much like the elastic band, you stretch it out, you let go, it will shorten. Okay, the muscle is exactly the same. Now when we're doing these jumps, as seen in this picture over here, he's doing hurdle hops, okay, going over and over. Now he wants to minimize the ground contact time that his feet spend on the ground. So he wants to hit the ground and come up as quickly as possible because he wants to be reactive about it. Okay, so it refers to how quickly one's body can react to a plyometric stimulus. Remember, we're doing plyometrics, so different types of jumps. Okay, then obviously a couple of examples: bounding, skipping, and hurdle jumps, as you can see in the picture. What is explosive strength? Now this is where we really start looking at being able to produce as much force as you possibly can in the shortest time possible. Okay, as an athlete, especially sort of rugby athletes, netball, football, okay, within rugby you're trying to make the tackle. Okay, so this athlete over here is trying to produce as much force as he possibly can, because he's trying to move this object with as much force as he can as quickly as he can. Okay, so he's trying to get rid of this athlete being able to go through the gap. Okay, so again, he is moving a heavy object as quickly as he possibly can. Okay, when you're talking about now netball, we're jumping for the rebound. So you as the athlete need to be extremely explosive to get off of the ground. Okay, you're moving your own body weight to jump as high as you possibly can to catch the ball for the rebound. Same in football, you're trying to move your body as quickly as you possibly can, so there's a lot of force involved because you're moving your own body weight. Trying to do it as quickly as you possibly can in order to get the header for the cross that's just been made. Okay, so all of these are just basic examples of explosive power within different sports. Now, requirements for next week. What I want you guys to do is find examples of power training. Okay. Then what I want you to do is I want you to state your sport and then write down which movements in your sport require power-based movements or are power-based movements. Okay. And then at the end, I want you guys to do the practical session that I have written down. Look forward to seeing what you guys have, and good luck.